Waiting. There we go. Hey, it's Chris from Swift Galleries. I'm excited today to be talking to Dan Frievalt from Dan Frievalt Photography and Seniors Unlocked. Sorry, hold on. Let me go back. Dan Frievalt, master photographer and craftsman, and from Seniors Unlocked. Dan, thanks so much for doing this today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, I don't actually know this. Like, this is an actual question. Where are you? I don't even know who I'm, like, where am I talking to?
Sure. Yeah. I'm in, well, technically my studio's in a small town called De Pere, Wisconsin, but technically I'm like right across the road. The main city is Green Bay, Wisconsin. So home of the Green Bay Packers, you know, which is, you have to be a Packer fan if you live in this city.
I was just going to ask that. Like, is that like a requirement? Like, like they'll take away your Green Bay card if you don't mention the Packers after saying I live in Green Bay?
They do. And the minute you're born, you're put on the Packer season ticket waiting list because it's like 60 years to get tickets. So it's kind of a big deal.
Is that actually true? Like, it's really hard to get season tickets?
It is. They're passed down through the family, which I think is not very common in NFL. Like, they just kind of go back when someone passes away. No, they are in the will. Yeah, it's big.
You guys don't screw around about your Packers.
Yeah.
That is good to know. Now I know that I will never be getting some season tickets to the Packers.
You won't. Even our garbage cans are green and gold here. So.
Are they really? Oh my gosh. You guys, you might have a problem.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we're in Broncos territory here. I'm in Colorado Springs, so we're in Broncos territory, but we don't take it that far.
Yeah, it's crazy around here. I mean, when they lose the Monday after, the whole city is like depressed. It's almost
just,
like
you guys just wear your sackcloth and like rending of garments and
everyone's moping. Yeah. If you want, awesome. But if you want to go shopping at the mall or at Costco, go during the Packer game because there's no one. There's no one there. So my wife usually goes during the Packer game. She's like, I'm going to go shopping.
That's awesome. You know, we should just leave it at that. Like, just, okay, hey, thanks for this interview.
We're done.
Now we know. Yeah, now we know.
Yeah, now you know.
So what I wanted to talk with you about today is this concept of create a collection. So I've been poking around like old blog posts on your site and a little bit in some of the products that you sell about this idea of collections or packages versus a la carte, and then this kind of, it seems like this hybrid in between model of create a collection. And we have people ask us about that through Swift Galleries about like, hey, how does this kind of thing work? And I figured, like, why not bring somebody in who actually knows what he's talking about with this stuff? So let's kind of just bat around that. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got to your create a collections, and then we can just go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started out with packages, like with a lot of people start with, and I've been in photography now for 12 years. So selling digital files back then wasn't really a thing. First off, you sold prints and you did packages. And there was a couple different things I found with doing packages and doing proofs is it kind of put a ceiling, or definitely put a ceiling on how much you could sell. Yeah. And the other major problem is that people would kind of pick apart your packages like, oh, well, I don't need these two 8x10s, but can you swap those out for a couple 5x7s? Can I do? So they're customizing it anyways. And I'm like, probably like most photographers, and you're kind of like, well, okay, I'll throw that in, or okay, I'll kind of do this and that. And all of a sudden they walk out the door and you realize, man, I just lost my butt on that because
I just gave away like $1,000 worth of stuff.
Right. Because I figured out all my cost of goods and everything at the beginning of the year and build that in the packages so I'm profitable. But when you're on the fly like that, I'm not really absolutely sure what everything costs.
Yeah. You leave and they leave and you're like, what just happened? Like, I don't, because I don't know about you, but my reason normally is like, that's math. And I really don't want to have to do math in front of a client, like, because then they're going to see why I'm a photographer. Like,
exactly.
You're an artist because math. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Creative, analytical. Those are two different sides of the brain that creatives aren't too good at.
Yeah. So we just default to Yeah, we'll throw that in. Cool.
Dang it, yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
What
And
else
I
do
can
you?
be analytical if I'm focused on it, like probably most people. Like, okay, I'm going to
Right.
sit down in spring of the year and I'm going to crunch numbers and okay, now I'm done with it.
Yep. Yep.
I can bear through it for a day and then I'm done with it. You know,
Right.
I don't
Right.
want
Yeah.
to touch
For
it
the
again
year. Yeah.
for another year.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then, but yeah, you're sitting in the sales meeting, and the last thing you want to do is like, carry the two. Hold on, let me go grab my TI-82. And you're like, I got to go plug all this stuff in, and man, I wish I paid attention in algebra and all of that. So,
Right.
so yeah, and I think that was the big pain point for us so we did the same thing with our seniors. We did collections or packages, and then we ended up going very quickly through this idea of create a collection. I sucked at it. I don't think I explained it well, but we ended up going to a la carte for that reason. So that's why I'm really interested in digging in and how did you what does your create a collection look like now, and how do you make that work?
Yeah, great question, because a lot of people want to do the a la carte because it just seems easier. And it is somewhat. So I came up with like a hybrid system and doing the create a collection and a la carte, which is a little bit different. Like this create a collection or create a package has been around. I didn't invent it, but I feel like I really refined it to a point where it's working so smoothly. And I suck at sales. Again, I think a lot of photographers and creatives do. I hate asking for money. Here's my work, please buy it. Oh, right. I'll throw extra stuff in. So coming up with a system has allowed me to, it just sells itself. It goes through the process. So the process with me, there used to be 2 ways to order. I just refined it last year, and now there's 3 ways to order, which makes it a little bit more complicated to explain. But really, when I'm in the sales room, it just people get sense. It. Yep. And people in general they always tend to go towards like the way of saving money, even if they have a lot of money. There's 2 types of people I've found. Is that people will kind of go to what makes sense to save money, and then there are certain people who just want the high end of everything.
Whatever the best thing you have. Yep.
Whatever the best thing is, because it's luxury, they want it. And again, if I can refer back to my small town of Green Bay, yes, we have a national football team, but it's only 100,000 people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of surprised people. It's only 100,000. Our biggest building is a parking garage, which I think is 7 stories high. It surpassed the building that used to be 6 stories, I think. So, we're a farming community, and I never thought those high-end people existed in this area. But, through meeting other people and doing conferences and workshops and learning from other people, and, they pushed me too and said, yeah, there are those people out there. Yeah. So I put some of those luxury items in, and yes, they sell. So kind of went off on a tangent, but coming back to the different ways to order, they can do a la carte. So that's one method. The create a collection is the other method, and then the all-inclusive is the new method. Okay. So they have those 3 options when they come in. Now, the a la carte is the most expensive way to order. You can pick whatever you want, but it's more expensive. It's usually like 35% above the create a collection prices. So right there, people say, okay, it's more expensive if I go this route. Yep. And I let them know that that's the most expensive way. The other way you can create your own collection. And I explain it just like I explained it to you. Like, packages didn't work. They don't work for your family. Your family is going to be different than the next family. You just pick one item from these 4 different sections, and you get the discounted pricing that's already built in. Yep. Now even say like, okay, look at the 8x10 price on the create a collection. That's $130. Look at it. I'm sorry, $100. Look at it at the a la carte. It's $130. Yep. So they can easily, they're not doing math either. And I don't, they can just look at the 2 sales pieces and see the difference. Yep. So the 4 different sections are an album, which again, I never thought I could sell an album, but I sell an album with every client now. A wall portrait, gift prints, which are 8x10s, 5x7s, or 4x6s, and wallets. Now I shoot 99% high school seniors. So wallets are still a thing, for me in the Midwest. That's good. We're kind of behind on sometimes. So I know other areas are kind of getting away from wallets, but I've combated that with different things, like all your wallet poses you get an app with. So it kind of forces them to still buy a wallet pose so that they can get the app, because the parents want the wallets, the seniors want the app, and the parents kind of want the app too. So I'm kind of making them play by my rules a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. So when you say those are your 4 kind of sections, your 4 categories, does somebody, so if they go with create a collection, are they required to choose something from every category?
They are, at least one item from all 4 categories. So sometimes photographers will say, well, you're forcing them to do that. I'm like, no, they can do the a la carte.
Yep, exactly. Yep,
and,
exactly.
You know, and usually if they're going to get 3 out of the 4, sometimes even 2 out of the 4, I let them know. I can work it both ways and say, you know what, you're basically getting this for free.
Yep.
Now, something to keep in mind is you don't price yourself to be profitable at your a la carte. You price it to be profitable at your create a collection, then you jump those prices up. So that's what's important. So that, and I'm fine if they do a la carte, because I'm just making more profit. They're ordering less product, I'm making more profit. I still come out either way. I come out in the end.
And the client walks away with exactly what they want. If they're happy with that, then all right, great. Everybody wins.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's a question I get a lot. Like, well, I don't want to force people, so I'm just going to do a la carte. But the thing you'll find is you'll make more money with the creative collection, because they will do those 4 items. And they'll do, the other good thing is in each one of those sections, I have basically different tiers. Yeah. So I have 3 different albums, you know, so different levels. And so it's easier to kind of upgrade. Same thing with the wallets. I have little different incentives to let them, to, you know, it's better to purchase more. You can only get those incentives in the creative collection too. So first you get them into doing all 4, then they can see other little savings along the way. And it's not pushy. I just say, you know, if you do 3 pose of 32 count wallet, you save $50.
Yep.
Okay. I might as well do 3 pose.
So you're using, gosh, this is fascinating. So you have a few different things a lot of different things kind of working together here. You're using your a la carte really kind of just as an anchoring device to show how much they're going to be saving if they do create a collection. And then as they progress through their create a collection, you're using additional discounts or add-ons to kind of push them up in their create a collections.
Exactly.
So am I right? You were saying you kind of have these tiers within each of those 4 groupings where you say, okay, yeah, this is kind of the lower tier, you know, album, or you can do this one, or you can do this one. So you've got then incentives built into that to then push them I'm saying down further up to the nicer albums, because then maybe you get, you know, the app or something like that, or you get a discount for that. That's brilliant. You are an evil genius, sir.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe not evil. Maybe not evil. I don't know. We did right.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
It's the same old theory of, like, when I shot weddings. One of the first things I learned is, okay, if you had 3 collections, most people are going to go in the middle collection. The easiest way to add more to your average is to boost that top, or put another collection in, and people are going to fall kind of in the middle. But you're always going to get, you know, you put this, it's called like the Whopper, you know, put the Whopper out there. You don't expect anyone ever to buy it. It just makes these other ones look better. Right. But guess what? Those elite clients I was talking about before, they're going to come in and say, I want that, because no one else
have to have that. Yep, exactly.
Like, what? Yeah. So that's what I've done I've kind of broken it into several little pieces. So the a la carte is that. And then the albums have those. And then the wallet have that, and every section has that. So the majority of people are going to go in the middle, and all those middle products are my most profitable products.
Yep.
You know, that's where I want everyone to kind of fall.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That falls in line really well with some of the stuff that we teach about pricing, which is, you know, kind of that package pricing structure where you say, you know, your top package, nobody's ever going to buy this. They go down to this bottom package and they're like, yeah, it's cheap, but it doesn't have anything that I really want in it. And then you kind of work them up between these 2 other packages on this, like, yeah, this has everything I want except for that one, like, kind of carrot on the stick is what we call it. So then they end up at that next one. That's the one that we have our best cost of sale on, all of that. So you're doing that same idea, but 4 times.
Multiplying it. Yes.
That's
yes.
fantastic.
And once
that's cool.
Yeah. And the weird psychology of it is once people put those things in their cart, it's really hard for them to take it out. And even when you get all the way at the end, if they get a little nervous, A, it's hard for them to take it out. B, if they take it out, then I say, well, remember, then we go back to the a la carte if you don't have the full.
Right. Yep.
And you're end up going to be investing more. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, I remember. It's just that little bit of, and I do it too. You know, everyone gets a little nervous when you get at that certain, like, oh, am I spending too much on this? And then when someone reassures you, like, oh, you're saving money. And they're like, okay.
Right. No, it's a sale. You have to buy it. Yeah. And I think the thing that's interesting there is that it still puts you in a position to actually be the good guy, to be able to say like, hey, you can definitely do that. I did want to remind you though, that if you do that, then, you're saving the day for them at that point. You're saying, oh yeah, you can take that stuff out, but this is saving you money. You're like, oh, okay. Hey, thanks, Dan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and that's not sales. That's like, hey, I'm looking out for you.
Well, and that's another thing. Like I was petrified to do in-person sales because I always did proofs, and I didn't want to deal with sitting in there for hours and people making decisions and me feeling like I'm pressuring them in the stuff. And this has really alleviated all of that. Yeah. And now I feel like I'm doing a disservice. And I think if I'm not, because they have me, I'm the only one here. So I answer the phone, I take the photos, I retouch them. I outsource just for pimples and stuff, but I do my own effects, my composites, I do all the highly artistic stuff. Yeah. And then I sit down at the end, and now I'm just going to push them off on someone else. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't like just giving them proofs or doing something online and not helping them through the process. And people love that because they're like, okay, you're going to help me, right? I'm like, yeah, we're going to go through and we're going to show you everything and help you and show you sizes, show it on your wall, as you know that it's very powerful. It sells itself because people don't know what a 8x10. I say it's like the size of this iPad. Really? Because I have all my display things at my I don't call it my sales room. I call it my viewing room, which I guess maybe sounds like a funeral now that I say that. But screening room, that's what I call it. Yeah, because I have the big TV in there and I have samples on the wall. So they'll point at like a 16 by, well, I don't even have a 16 by 24, a 20 by 24, and say, is that like 11 by 14? I'm like, no, that's and they
cannot visualize this stuff. Yeah.
And why would we expect them to? It's like they don't deal with it.
Exactly.
Sometimes I look and they're like, what is that again? I don't know what size it is.
Yeah. See, so I need to say this. I did not feed him any of this. You're saying so many of the things that I say in our webinars and the stuff that I teach, like that in-person sales is more a service process than it is a sales process. It's you saying, I am here because I do this for a living. I'm here to help you figure this stuff out. And that, this idea of shooting and burning seems convenient, and it's definitely, it's convenient, but I think sometimes we confuse it with what service really is. Because really what you're saying in that case is like, hey, here are your files. Good luck figuring out what to do with all of this stuff. And then, kind of along the same lines of what you're talking about with sizes, we talk about that all the time, that like people just can't visualize this stuff. It's just so hard to know that, like, yeah, there's your 8x10 on the wall, like and it's tiny, and it looks like a postage stamp on a large wall. So let me so I want to get back to this Create a Collection though. And this is the last thing I'll bug you about on this. I'm curious, like, it feels like there has to be a decent amount of like expectation setting done up front. Like how do you get, when you get a new client in the door, do they know, are you telling them about this on your website? Do they already know about this process because their friends have all gone through you at this point? Like, how are you? So I guess let's come at it from this direction. If I'm a photographer who wants to switch to this, how do I start educating my clients on this? Or is that even the most important thing to do? Like, how do I make that switch?
Yeah, great question, because when I made that switch, I had started over in the photography industry completely. And so I said, now's the time for me to make the switch,
Yeah.
because I'm going to have all new clients. They're not going to know any better, not any better, but they're not going to know the old system.
Yep.
But what I found is I had a lot of repeat clients who did track me down and come to me, and they didn't have a problem at all with it.
Yep.
In fact, they loved it because I was helping them through the process. And that's when I started to realize that they were saying, "Oh, this is so nice that you're helping me," because in the past, I didn't feel that way. And I was like, wow. And here I was afraid to do it.
Yep.
So, and I think a lot of photographers, even if you've done proofs or online stuff, hey, here's the new format.
Yep.
And you can even test it with a few people, and you realize that it'll work well. But I feel like if you just start the new year and like, here's the new format, and you just have to own it, like I did. I'm like, I was scared inside, I was trembling inside, but I owned it on the outside and said, this is going to be so great. I'm going to show you this stuff on the TV. We're going to be able to put things side by side. You have the proof book, or you have the online view, and you can't see these things. You can't compare them. You can't show sizes. I'm like, this is just, it's technology. As things evolve, this is a great way. I want to take care of you. We've spent all this time, and that's what was killing me. I do a 3-hour session, hair and makeup. We'd shoot all these cool things. I'd create all these new things, and people would come in and order a couple prints.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with this system?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the album is you get 30 images in your album.
Yep. And I think that the thing there that I think is a stumbling block for photographers, this idea that they came in and then they just ordered or they didn't even come in. I put it on, put it online, and they just ordered a few prints. That's not what they want. So it's this idea that like, oh, but now then they come into my studio, now they buy a lot more. I think on its face, people think, oh, that means I have to be this high pressure salesperson. And it's actually the exact opposite, that they're not getting the things they actually want when you put it out there. It's this, I can't remember now. I think we talked about this live, or if we talked about it beforehand. It's the math thing. It's like path of least resistance. When they're sitting there in their boxer shorts, in front of their computer, they're just going to pick whatever the easiest thing is. I'm just, what, let me get this one. I'm going to get this one. And they're not fulfilled either. They don't feel good about that either.
No. And think about how busy everyone is nowadays. Like even the schedule people, and I look at their schedules, I'm like, I was never that busy when I was in high school. They're running here. They have all these activities. And even if you send a proof book home, or if they go online, the odds that they get together and spend an hour and actually pick stuff, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
And so that's what people be like, well, how can you get them to come in? I'm like, it's easy. I let them know we're going to spend an hour. Just give me an hour. And guess what? There's going to be, and mom loves it because she wants to make it happen,
Yeah.
And it's like, just get your daughter in here. We're going to make it easy for you. You're going to realize, even the people who are like, I can't make a decision in an hour. I'm like, you know what? I hear that a lot. But what I found is, because I'm walking you through the process, you and your daughter are here. When's the last time you and your daughter like got together and like picked something out? And they're like, you're right. It's like, we're going to get you here. We're going to be efficient. We're going to go through everything. It's not going to be high pressure. And we'll step you through the process. And you're in and out in an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes people take longer, but they don't feel like it's like, wow, I've been here for 2 hours. It's like, yeah, that's fine. We're working through it, and they love it. And then they're like, you can just feel like even the people who thought they could make a decision, they're like, oh, I'm all done. When can we get them? When can we get them? Then they're all excited. So
it's funny. I literally said the exact words that just came out of your face during a Facebook Live about overcoming objections to in-person sales. And one of these big objections is I don't have the time for that. And, for us, whenever I hear that, I'm like, oh, great. Like, this is great. This is my foot in the door, because guess what? I'm doing this for you, because this actually takes less time, because you are busy. Like, you're exactly why I do this, because it's easier. And then because you're going to set aside this time, and then when you're done, you're done. And like, all you have to do is answer some questions, and I'm going to walk you through this, and then you're good to go. And then I'll come over and install it.
Right.
Like everybody's happy. So yeah, no, I love
Yeah.
this. I love this.
Yeah.
I have
Well,
so many other things I want to talk to you about.
okay.
So I'm gonna probably just rope you into another interview or maybe a webinar at some point. Because I also
Sure.
want to hear about this, like this, you said the new thing that you're doing now, which is like all you get it all inclusive. What
All
did you call it?
inclusive.
The
Yes.
all
Yeah.
inclusive thing. But unfortunately I have to jump on another call and it's killing me because I'm like, this is awesome. Okay. So where can people who are watching this right now, where can they go to learn more about this, learn more about your process?
Sure. You can go to seniorsunlocked.com, and I have some blog posts up there, and there's also like a store. You click, that's going to take you to store.seniorsunlocked.com,
Okay, cool.
and then you can see it's called Pricing for Profit, and I sell the templates, so you can just drag and drop your images in. You can even use my images if you want, because it's not for marketing. I'm okay with that. Put your pricing in. I have my pricing in there if you want to use it as a guide. I share my pricing so you have an idea what it looks like. And I have videos that go into this in much more detail to help you, in sales scripts and what to say. If someone says this, here's what I say, and helps you through all the possible pain points that you might have with it. So a lot of people will look at, say like, well, it's templates. I'm like, the templates are gold because it's all put up together for you. But really, to me, the videos are gold because it goes into detail and how to sell it, what to say, how to work it through the process, and how to price your things based on cost of goods and your overhead and things like that. So it's pretty in-depth.
And to put that in perspective for people, and this is me cheating because I read one of this blog posts right before this call. You said that you're from basically a farming community, even though everybody thinks it's a giant city.
Yes.
It's basically a farming community. So all those people are saying this won't work in my market. And you took, when you were doing when you were doing packages, like your max sale was like 2,000, right? Because that was your highest package.
Well, not really. It was actually less than that. My max is probably about, 1,500 to 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah. But then when you switched to your Creative Collection, I don't want to say the number. I want you to say the number because I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. What was that sale?
This year it's 3,800 is what my average was this year. And that's the beauty of this too, is like I said right in the beginning, is there's no ceiling. So I've had orders of $10,000, which when I say that blows my mind. When people are ordering it, I'm like, again, I'm sweating. Like, are you sure you want it?
Right. Yeah. You're like waiting for them to leave. And then like, as soon as they, okay, hey, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Thank you so much. This is so much fun. Yeah. Exactly. And when you think of it in that perspective, like let's say I made packages. Yeah. I would never have a package above $5,000. Like who's going to do 5,000?
Right. And at that point, you have no idea if the stuff that you're putting in the package is actually the stuff that they're going to want.
They're going to want. Yeah. So here they're picking multiple wall portraits. They're picking a top end album. They're adding gift prints and wallets and different, tons and tons of stuff. And so, actually, going back to what you said, my average with proofs was $1,000. And then the Creative Collection, when I started that, it instantly boosted my average to $2,000, like overnight. Wow. Just switching incredible. 2 changes I made: in-person sales and the Creative Collection. And then, evolving it now through the years. This year was $3,800, which is which is just unbelievable.
And that's high school seniors in a farming community.
Yes, which is why I don't do weddings anymore, because I can't get $3,800 for a 12-hour wedding. Plus, all the back end work that goes into that. So this is a 3-hour session, and it's just $1 per hour, and I have the weekends with my wife. Like,
that's no brainer at that point.
Yeah,
awesome.
Which comes up. I always get long winded, but it comes up. One more point is when people are somewhat afraid to go from shoot and burn to this. What I tell them is, yes, you're going to lose some clients. But the clients you gain, you're going to work less and make more. So you're shooting and running all over. You don't have time with your families. You're doing weekend sessions and running all over for people. Once you establish this, which can be established overnight, you're going to lose some clients. But the ones you're going to make so much more that you can do less, and you get your freedom back.
They're going to be thrilled with it. I think that's the other thing that like people just don't realize is like, okay, you're going to work less, you're going to make more money, and your clients are going to be thrilled, and they're going to tell more people about you because you're finally doing something that stands out. You're doing something that is worth raving about. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. This is why I want to talk to you some more. We have so many things that we can talk about. So let's do this again sometime soon.
Sure, absolutely.
And all right, so yeah, if you're watching this, head over to seniorsunlocked.com and you can check out his blog posts. You can check out the stuff that's in his store and just buy it all. And I don't actually even make any money if you buy his stuff. Just buy it all and like just do it. So hey, Dan, thank you so much for doing this. Truly appreciate it.
I appreciate you having it. It's been fun. Thanks, Chris.
All right, take care.
All right, yeah, bye-bye.